Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Utpatti Prakarana, and we are in the section 100, 10%. Sage Vasistha continues to give insight into the illusory nature of the world process. The simple point always keep in your view. All your world experience is through the magic of the mind. If mind is not operating, there is no world. Example, sleep, go to sleep. Slip into sleep. And there is no world. All vast history and geography and geology and astronomy and all dumped. And that's the goal of life. To attain that revelation of the truth. The I am in you is not the real. The I am illusion goes on experiencing this vast world. The I am in you needs an iPad. And the magical world has provided your nervous system. So I will not go into that detail. But the ultimate goal is to stop the cycle of birth and death. And that will be possible if you don't have any desire left in your mind. But as long as you desire for pleasure, the world alone can provide that. And that type of pleasure is kind of a mirage. You don't merge into it. You run after it. And more clarity will come as we go on. O Rama, for the wise who possess intuitive intellect, this world is the world as well as the concepts of bondage and release are as illusory as the phenomenon of snake in rope. Simply meaning all this, what we call Brahma Satyam Jagana Mithya. Brahman alone is real and all this is illusion. For easy understanding, when you are sleeping on your bed and you are entering into a big dream world. A dream world is unending, without beginning, without end. It's a big illusion. But in spite of all your experience and wanderings in your dream world, nothing is real from there. You wake up, not a needle point of the dream experience comes to your hand. Similarly, this is just an allegorical illustration. The enlightenment is to develop that inward revelation that all that you are experiencing through your mind the immense data of the universe. All that is a magical play of thought waves of your mind. Just like in your iPad, all that you see in your iPad is a magical play of your finger moving this way, that way, that way. And the finger moving is same like vrittis in your thought waves. So one little change in your thought wave and you are having a totally different vision of the world. The vrittis are not described as waves, but not exactly like waves. They are like whirlpools. It is the mind afflicted by ignorance that pursues the relative realities of the world and sees its desires fulfilled. Since the mind is backed up by infinite powers of Brahman, one can accomplish whatever one desires by the one-pointed devotion of his mind. Understand this point. It's a good news, bad news, both ways. Good news, whatever you desire, and whatever is your imagination about your success. You want to live in a city where people have two heads. No amount of your thinking can justify it. But this creation is very unique. We are just accustomed to humanity on the earth planet. Imagine the vast universe and souls adopting different types of bodies. So if that is your idea, you will find it. Nothing is impossible. Further, the world is a projection. If you are doing projection work, you can choose any type of projection and we can interject into it. The screen doesn't mind. The screen sustains everything. Brahman is the sustaining force, reality. And because of that sustaining absolute Brahman, the powers of the mind have no limit. By powers implying all that you can experience through your mind. Your karmas can bring about. Through your mind, you create your karmas. And your karmas can bring about amazing things. There's no end to it. Only it requires abhyasa and vairagya. Whether you want positive or negative, abhyasa and vairagya is the mantra. You want your anger to succeed? Continue your abhyasa. Be angry for the smallest thing. Those moments that come, we try to calm down your anger, develop vairagya towards it. This is a demoniac way. Abhyasa and vairagya. You follow the negative, move away from positive. The healthy way, follow the positive, turn towards light, and continue to shed darkness. That's abhyasa and vairagya. And again, coming in a very practical way, whatever you go on insisting with your mind, day by day, you go on. So many things you think about, but ultimately what happens? A resultant develops. Think of in mathematics, you might have read. A boat is in the river, and it is being pulled by different ropes from different directions. It looks like it's being pulled in all directions. But the boat will move as a resultant of all the forces that are put on it. It will move to the east or the west or one direction as a result of all the forces that are around it. Your mind flows that way. So therefore, when people say, oh, I've been meditating that way, why is it not coming to me? The fact is, mind has fooled you. Your thinking process is effective, but your thinking is going in different directions. You are not holding on to a particular objective, particular object, a goal. So I will go into that detail because I have more interesting things to tell you in this. From Brahman, first there arose the mind. This again just a series, not a mathematical description. And then the visions of bondage and release through absolute self is Brahman. Through Maya, illusion, that absolute self brings about the role of mind. And mind creates projections. And projections are sustained by the screen of the absolute self. And those projections go to bring about numerous worlds. You could put it both ways. Realistically, see the numerous stars. Vastness of the universe is beyond imagination. And from more subjective point of view, the world means the field of your experience. Bhutakash. You are experiencing in this practical world, physical world. But physical world is not all that world. Your world of your feeling, your thoughts, that world is much vaster than the physical world. That's called Chittakash. And then behind all that is the absolute space, Brahman. And that absolute alone is reality. This entire creation is like the tale told by a nurse to a child for mere amusement. This is the news I was going to tell you. So for a while, view yourselves as kids, little children. And this is an entertaining story. I'm joking, try to understand now. Sri Rama asked, O sage, I would like to listen to the tale told to a child, this kind of cradle song. And literally, there are Hindu families where they have brought this into a cradle song and they do that. And they sing how once there were 3 princes and so forth. Shiva Vasistha said, once upon a time, a nurse told this beautiful tale to a child for his amusement. There once lived 3 princes who were very handsome. They were victorious, valiant, and thoughtful. Child starts up, you're wonderful for the princess. And where they lived in the city wild. The child doesn't question. How can a person live in a wild? To a child, is there, tell me what? 2 of them were never conceived, and the 3rd was never born. That's the description about the princess. In the course of time, they lost their relatives due to a severe famine. The fact is, if you follow it very closely, nothing is going to be real. You will walk away. But to a child, no, go on telling me this story. You don't go into the what is the reality behind it. And this is the general psychology of the human mind. It is that psychology that allows you to hear about the stories of gods and goddesses in constant trouble. They are more trouble than people living on the earth. And you hear them, you are surprised. What happened there? So I will not distract you much. Let me go through this story. In the course of time, they lost their relatives due to a severe famine that befell their country. And so they set out in search of another country. They left the city of void and moved onwards. Because their bodies were as tender as jasmine flowers, due to the intense heat of the sun, they became fatigued. Their feet began to be scorched by the burning sands. In the course of their weary journey, they found 3 trees full of leaves, blossoms, and fruits. The story is being told. They goes through a tremendous hot atmosphere. And what shelters them is a tree. There are 3 trees. Of them, 2 were not yet sprouted. And the 3rd was not even planted. But don't worry. They rested under the 3rd tree. They rested even as Indra, Yama, and Vayu would rest under the Parijata tree in heaven. Then they ate the nectarine fruits of the trees. Of course, they don't elaborate at this stage, but I can fill in. 3 big fruits they ate. 2 were never born. The 3rd came out of no flower. When noon came, they saw 3 rivers surging with waters of transparent water, waves of transparent water. One of these rivers was completely dry. The other 2 were devoid of water. They took a bath in the first river and felt very refreshed. When the evening hours came, they saw the city high up in the mountains. It was filled with lakes containing placid waters and lilies of diverse colors. They saw 3 palaces in the city, which were studded with gems and precious stones. 2 of these palaces were never constructed, and the 3rd had no foundation. And the child said, "Tell me more." However, they entered the 3rd palace and found 3 vessels of gold. 2 were broken to pieces, and the 3rd was crumbled to dust. It was not broken, so that's good news. In the third vessel, those princes of excellent wisdom, wisdom under quotes, cooked rice. They had 99 plus 1 minus 100 grains. "99 plus 1 minus 100. The child thinks it's big, many, lots of things they had to cook. So tell me more. When the rice was cooked, they invited 3 Brahmin priests as their guests. There's the righteous culture in you share your food before you eat. 2 of the Brahmins were devoid of bodies, and the third had no mouth. Now this third one ate 100 grains of rice. And the remaining was feasted upon by those 3 princes. Then they went out to hunt. Now, after all the food, etc., they must have some entertainment. And Vasistha says to Rama, "O Rama, they still exist in that strange city. And their life is full of delight. If you have heard this story, then do reflect upon it, and you will become wise." Vasistha continued, "O Rama, much like this story, this world exists only for the thoughtless. But to the wise, the world is a mere manifestation of the thoughts of the mind. All this is mental projections. And you are not meant to just live in your mental projections. Because they are like those 3 things. One that never conceived. 2 never sprouted. With the effacement of the mind, all becomes false. And Brahman is discovered as the only reality. Just as the ocean manifests in waves, so does Brahman manifest in the multiple forms of the world. All that you see through the cinema show, what you are seeing, this is screen manifesting through all the names and forms. Projections are not realities. The screen is the reality behind it. The screen is pure awareness. And that's your deepest root, that's your reality, that's your identity. Reflected suns live in different jars. They go through numerous varying conditions. But when any reflected self were to ask, "Who am I?" the answer is that every stage of the experience for reflected self has no reality. Jar is not your home. The water in the jar, you have nothing to do with it. All that you view yourself within the jar and around the jar, and you see countless other reflected ones, they have no reality. So, but if you are entertained, then that's like children being entertained. So don't stay children. Grow up. Not yet. The 3 princes are products of Maya. And what are they? Ishvara, cosmic creator, Jiva, individual soul. Manas, the mind. A subtler meaning is being given to you. None of the three is reality. Brahman, through Maya, is viewed as God, the creator. When you come to realize creation does not exist, your idea that someone created it, that becomes illusion. Since word is not there to begin with, to say that these three great princes, Brahman, Jiva, and mind, these are the three handsome princes. None of the three is reality. The world is a city of void. And this whole world you are experiencing is like the world in your dream. That world is completely void. There's no space there. The only space you have there on your bed is for the mosquitoes. I'm joking. As well as it's realistic. The three rivers are the three gunas of nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. The three trees are the three purposes of life. Dharma, artha, and kama. Dharma is ethical value. Artha, material value. Kama, vital value. All those values you go after, not realizing you are the source of all values. You are Brahman. When that realization comes, these four purposes become illusions. Na dharmo, na artho, na kamo, na moksha. The three palaces are the three states of consciousness. Waking, dream, and deep sleep. Waking with your physical identity with the physical body, you are experiencing the waking state. In dream, you are identified with your subtle body. In sleep, you are identified with your causal body. All these identities is not real identity. That these bodies are just illusions. They were never constructed. The enjoyments of the world are devoid of substance, like the illusory grains of rice. You think you are gaining it, but you are gaining in a mathematically deceptive manner. You gain plus 99. But then you lose minus 100. 100 sounds better. In other words, we are not gaining anything. All worldly attainments, not a single needle can you carry. There again is allegorical. All worldly attainments are not real attainments because they are not real. Even the idea you are the body is not the reality. It's a mental projection. Once you are paralyzed or made rendered unconscious, then you have to ask the doctor, where is my hand? Where are my feet? I'm just joking, but try to understand that. Your whole body awareness is a play of little brain centers. And even the play of brain centers is not in the brain. It's coming from a higher level. And that higher level has also its own source. So, when you realize the body is not you, the bones are not you, nervous system is not you. But with a kid mind says, what does it mean? I'm hungry, let's go to a nice party. Given in a humorous way. But the idea is to understand all life and various practical realities that you face. First, to understand they are in the realm of illusion. And your goal is to go beyond. But that doesn't mean that you should suddenly shut your eyes to all of them, because that cannot be possible. That aspect will go later. The three Brahmin guests are three stages of life: childhood, youth, and old age. Even before you enjoy anything, these guests are. And they don't exist. Stay, enjoy. Two are never born. Two have no bodies. And by the time comes to the third, no teeth. Thus, although this world process is woven by the fabric of illusion, you can see fabric of illusion. You live in your body, you don't know anything about it. How things move. Live in a world, you know nothing about it. What's cooking within the world, the earth. How things are set up in a cosmic scheme. But who cares? In spite of all this, mind creates the drama of stability. Here am I have attained this. Who is greater than me? I am successful. And so forth. This broad view of understanding that your goal is not establishing yourself in a world of time, space, because it cannot be possible. Your goal, therefore, is what is that goal? The goal is not again like an object that you have to run after. Goal is your essential nature. There are so many illuminations of the sun running around in different ways. But what's their goal? Allegorical language. Goal implies what's the reality behind them? The sun. Discovering the sun, that's your goal. I am the sun. Thus, although the world process is woven by the fabric of illusion, yet the mind, being overpowered by Maya, continues to be entertained by empty promises of this world. All that you gain is empty promises. Just like the child who was amused by listening to the story told by a nurse. But behind this whole story, there is nothing purpose. Through this process, the soul that really receives nutrition is led to satsanga, practices integral yoga in life. Instead of just doing actions, develop the art of karma yoga, how to make the actions bring about purification in your heart. So do not do your activities with a mind that says, oh, you have no choice, you have to do it. You are driven to do it. Same karma, you are doing it with that type of mind, is creating a negative movement, a discordance in your personality. Negativity does not exist as a reality. It's called asur. In musical way, sur is that wherever you are in good chord, accord with all their chords. And Asur, there is no attunement. You are out of harmony. Life's movement should be in harmony. Move towards Sur, get away from Asur in every plane, starting with your action. Works that you do. By work implies all your duties, duty to your parents, duty to your neighbors, duty to your own body, duty to everything, all practical realities. Whatever you are doing, even attending on your body, attend on it. Deho devalayo prakto. Your body is the temple of God. Nothing of the body is yours. It's the marvel of the nature. The same that created the Himalayas have created your bones. The same that has created millions of stars have brought light into your eyes. In what way are you separated from the universe? I'm leading you to a totally different dimension, but that's where Karma Yoga and the yogic movement allows you to assimilate the higher truth. This higher truth, you don't have to go anywhere to get it. It's there. Recognizing the reality that is always there is a matter of manipulation of your thoughts. So, as I was describing integral yoga, your action, instead of bringing to your mind stress, it should allow your heart to feel joyous. You are being led by God within you. Then action becomes karma yoga. And from another angle, from a practical point of view, you become much better physically, mentally, and the world around you receives great blessings. Any good person doesn't stay good for himself. Very good is go to many people. So, that's karma aspect. But while karma moves on, you must realize you are always four-stringed instrument. Action, emotion, will and reason. Come to emotion aspect, feeling aspect, which is the very flavor of your life. Real rasa comes from your feeling. And your feeling now, as you begin to develop virtuous qualities instead of being angry constantly and proud and conceited and perverted, as karma goes on purifying these malas, gross impurities. Now enjoy the flavor of having a heart not filled with markat karkat, not filled with muck. A heart that is blossoming like a lotus. So much you enjoy the goodness of your heart that you will not allow it to be affected by no matter how things may happen externally. And rather, you will play magic. People who seem to be kind of demoniac, ugly, wicked, your good-heartedness plays magic. Strips them of their ugliness, makes them cute. A tiger cub comes to you with mouth like that, but your tender hand touches it and it becomes cozy. Allegorical way of saying. Bring that with the world. But all that requires a lot of patience and a lot of your vigorous, profound understanding. And that's the challenge of life. Be a mountain climber. Not a descender into dub. So then I've covered the karma, emotion, feeling. The feeling turns to bhakti yoga. As bhavana becomes purified, you realize you are loving God in everyone. God has been playing tricks with you. Every situation, behind that was God hiding behind it. And then comes third stage, your mental focus. That mind has so many objects to go after, distraction. And one suffers from weakness of will. Just like if you have constant headache, even though your head looks good, not good for you. Your will is weak. You never know. You are not sure of yourself. You are shaky constantly. Dhyana yoga, meditation. Turn your will in the direction of dhyana yoga, yoga of meditation. And meditation becomes profound because your mind is focused on enjoying love of God. A bee is focused on enjoying the nectar coming from the lotus. So no matter how much challenges the bee must face, it doesn't matter. The nectar. So that type of will begins to develop as you evolve. That's called dhyana yoga, put into Raj Yoga terminology, Raj Yoga. And then your reasoning. In the beginning, your understanding is intellectual. Intellectual understanding is a deceptive understanding. It is one of the biggest factor that is destructive to the soul. Misunderstanding creates lots of problems. That intellect is led to become intuitional intellect, jnana yoga. Your understanding, your thought process of understanding should follow the wisdom given by the Upanishads. How to understand Purnamadaha Purnamidam, that's full, this is full. Purnat Purnamudachyate. From that full, all this full has come. So don't be fooled. That understanding has to enter your intellect level. When these four are not in steps, they are all together. And each one supplements and complements each other. You are developing bhakti, it will supplement your karma. Your karma will become greater karma yoga. You are practicing dhyana meditation, your action will become more enriched in karma yoga. You are doing good karma, it will enrich your devotion. It will pave the way for your dhyana and attainment of jnana. All the four are interrelated, helping each other. And if you become perfect in any one of the four, all the four have reached their climax. So these four are not four, one movement with four aspects. And that's the subtle teaching, that's the real teaching behind this story told by a nurse. So if you don't involve yourself in this integral movement, then you will stay a kid. And with this I'm going to conclude. The moral, don't stay a kid. But even as a kid, enjoy this story. It will give you rest and good sleep. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om.